Alright guys, this is a pretty special car and it is not a Commodore. So I'm sorry if you guys exclusively love Commodores, but no, this is an FPV. This is a BA FPV GT. And if we just have a look inside here before I show you guys the outside, it's a very special car. We've got 113,000 Ks. There's our FPV dash, a little FPV. We have the color screen in the BA, which is pretty rare. We've got our oil pressure and temperature there, which is awesome. FPV GT P004. Not exactly sure what that means because this is a later one. It is the one with the 6-speed manual with our FPV gear knob. It's a little bit of wear on that, but you know, it's something that you touch all the time. But this interior is really, really nice. It's so much leather and Alcantara. It does feel properly expensive in here. Even these door cards are all Alcantara. And there's that big XR8 bonnet bulge, and we also have metal pedals, which is pretty cool. And if we jump out here, there are a few special things out here, guys, because this is not just any BA. So there are two reasons why I wanted to do a video on this one. Obviously, number one, because it is one of the biggest rivals to the HSV. Before today, I've never driven an FPV. It's our Boss 290, and also this one is in very, very good condition for a BA, and that alone is worth checking it out, because you really do not see them. I mean, look how clean it is in there. You know, normally the reds are all faded and stuff, and this one isn't. You might notice that it doesn't have its original wheels, but it does have these BBS Motorsport ones from the Dick Johnson Racing FPVs, so that's pretty cool. There's our FPV badging, our Ford logo, GT. I really do like this spoiler. It really sets these apart from the normal cars. And the other thing, just while we're on the outside, is the stripes down here. Now, every car seems to be a little bit different. All of these ones, they don't seem to, you know, have one exact color. So I think what's happened is, actually, there's a better look at that interior, and it's aged really well. But I think we were talking about it before, that one of the things that these seem to have is quite a bit of personality, and none of them seem to be exactly the same. I'm talking about the outside color and the sticker combination. So there's plenty of silver ones with orange and black ones with white, or black ones with nothing. So that's quite interesting. And here is our 5.4 litre quad cam V8, and just look at the size of this thing. It looks absolutely enormous. There's our FPV sticker there, 290 kilowatts from factory at the fly, but this one has been souped up a little bit. It's been cammed and tuned and stuff, and it sounds really, really good. So we'll show you that in a second, but it definitely justifies the bonnet bulge, that's for sure. All right guys, so it is now time to drive the car. I have driven it for a few minutes already, and I'm really impressed by two things. One is it's really, really nice to drive, and the other thing is it sounds great. I have to admit, one of the criticisms of the Boss motor is that they might not sound as good as the LS. Well, I don't know about that. It sounds really good. It's a really good sounding car, and I'm really enjoying my time with it. So time to start it. Now, one thing I didn't realize, had no idea before today, is that this has a push button start. Not like a lot of ones where you just press it. You do have to hold it like an ignition. So we're just going to go straight, do a U-turn down there. We almost cancelled the drive today, guys, because it was almost looked like it was going to hail, but at the very last second it seems to have stopped. So that's good. We'll just do a U-turn down here, but it has been raining a little bit, so because of that we're probably not going to go flat out in it or anything, because the last thing I'd want to do is hurt this car. And the car can take it, the abuse, there's no question about that, but I don't know if my driving skill can. So we'll go up here. So there is one minor issue with this car, which is pretty common on BAs, is the handbrake sensor comes on a little bit. So don't worry, the handbrake is not on. Just the sensor, but you know, the car's 20 years old. What are you going to do? And plenty of the cars that I've had on the channel have had issues, including my own, so it's not specific to this car, it's just this car, you can see them. All right, we'll go here. I'll roll down the window so you guys can hear the old 290. And we'll go, just give it. Oh. Honestly guys, it goes really well. And you know, being a 6-speed manual, it's a really fun car to drive. The noise as well is fantastic, and I know that I have a lot of standard cars on the channel, but having one that's, you know, had a little bit done to it, but without being crazy, you know, this has some different wheels, which I showed you earlier, those Dick Johnson racing ones, and just having a 6-speed as well, it's a really nice cruiser. Now, another thing from this car, you're not going to get maybe the best fuel economy, but you know, you're not buying one of these for fuel economy anyway. So they were about $60,000 new back in 2004, and value today, one like this, a really, really good one, you know, it's hard to say exactly, it's all over the joint. Over COVID, it was probably around the 60 mark, and now we might be looking at, you know, mid-30s, maybe 40, but you're getting a lot of car for that. It looks great, and again, you really don't see that many of them. Only 1,300 of them made, and only around 300, it was hard to find exactly how many, but only around 300 of the GTs, which is what this is. There is another model, the GTP, and that has some better seats and a sunroof and stuff, but very similar spec. So really cool car. And you know, if we compare it to what Holden had at the time, which would have been the VY Clubby, just getting out of the VX, and they would have had the 285 LS1 Club Sports, which is sort of this most direct competitor. I have to admit though, they don't drive super different in terms of steering feel. I do really like the seats. They feel quite similar to VS Clubby seats. You know, they hug it. And that's one of the things that the other the GTP has, is more like Coulson's, those big bucket seats. But it doesn't take away from it. It's still hugging and still looks great. And I love the big XR8 bonnet bulge, and it's a really nice car, guys, especially in this colour. Just, I'm really enjoying my time with it. In terms of fuel economy, like I mentioned before, not that it's important, but I did want to mention it, but you know, you're probably looking at 20 to 25 litres, probably more if you're driving it hard. And one of the things that's really cool about this car is it's obviously very well cared for. The owner loves it, and he's had it for a really long time, but it has seen some track day use, so it has been used well, for its intended purpose, really, which is awesome. But he definitely has a bit of mechanical sympathy. He does love this car, that's for sure. So yeah, I've really enjoyed my time with it. Again, probably the most surprising thing, I had no idea that it had a push button start, and I mean, this is 2004, that's pretty fancy. I did know that it had gauges, and having the colour screen is really cool as well, because, well, that would have been a big ticket thing back in its day. But yeah, it's a really cool car, and I would absolutely welcome more FPVs or more Fords on the channel. And you know, I know a lot of Holden blokes don't like them, but you know, how are you going to know if you don't try them, if you don't give them a crack? And you can definitely like both things at once. And hope you guys enjoyed it. I have made a proper video on this car, so that will be coming, but I just wanted to give you guys a quick rundown of what this car is like. And I really do think that they'll be future classics, just like the other VY. Well, they're already starting to be that, just like their Clubbies and Senators and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I have really enjoyed my time with the BA GT, and it's really cool trying something different. And I know that it's not Team Red, even though it's a red car. I know that it's not a Holden, but you know what, guys, it's great to try something new, try something from the other team, and see what you're missing out on. Because I think challenging your own, I don't know, beliefs, preconceptions, whatever, ideas, is really important. And trying new things is so important to expanding your knowledge and stuff. And also for me, it makes my reviews hopefully better and more flushed out. So I hope you guys have enjoyed, and if you would like your car on the channel, then please feel free to get in touch. Otherwise, thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, all of that stuff, guys. I really do appreciate it.